Right now, from KTAB News, your local election headquarters, this is Big Country Politics.
Good morning. Thanks for watching Big Country Politics. I'm Marley Capper. We begin today with state news. Texas Governor Greg Abbott addressing the increase of unaccompanied minors entering the United States. At a news conference across the street from the convention center in Dallas, where 3,000 migrant teens will be held. The governor says he wants the Biden administration to approve access for state law enforcement to interview the kids, to check for signs of abuse and trafficking. And the governor says he is expanding his border operations to include a human trafficking component to root out abuse and other criminal activity. Beyond facilities in Dallas, Midland, Carrizo Springs, Abbott says he expects more unaccompanied minors and more facilities.
These sites are a direct result of President Biden's reckless open border policies that are causing a surge in border crossings and cartel activity. The administration has yet to provide answers that Texans deserve.
The Homeland Security Secretary testified in Washington today that the immigration system is broken. And Republican lawmakers are blaming the Biden administration for a surge of migrants at the U.S.-Mexico border. Recent data from Customs and Border Protection shows a 28% increase in apprehensions in February compared just the previous month in January. KTAB's Washington Bureau correspondent Anna Wernicke has the latest.
DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas told lawmakers on the House Homeland Security Committee that the administration is working to accommodate the growing number of migrants and unaccompanied minors crossing into the U.S.
We have increased our capacity to hold the children until HHS can shelter them.
In February, U.S. border agents apprehended more than 100,000 migrants, a 28% increase from the previous month. In response, Secretary Mayorkas says the agency has increased its capacity to hold the unaccompanied children and called on FEMA to help.
It's a disaster down there, and it's getting worse and worse and worse.
But Texas Republican Congressman Roger Williams says the situation isn't under control.
The Biden administration is going to have to get serious about securing this border.
Williams says that means finishing the Trump administration's border wall. A group of 40 Republican senators are accusing President Biden of acting unlawfully by halting construction of the border wall several weeks after Congress allocated $1.6 billion in barrier funding.
This was part of the negotiations for last December. And then suddenly for the White House to say, though that's in the law and it's required to be in the law, we're going to ignore it.
White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki says it takes time to transition from the previous administration's immigration policies. But she says the border is secure.
We are working to repair what has been an unprepared and dismantled system.
In Washington, I'm Anna Wernicke.
Thank you, Anna. Texas Senators John Cornyn and Ted Cruz announced they will lead a delegation to the border. Earlier this month, Biden was asked if he plans to make a trip down there, and he responded, not at the moment. If you have been thinking about selling your house, realtors say now is the time. For one thing, the interest rates in home loans are near record lows, and Abilene has record low numbers of houses for sale. So those factors make it easier for someone to get a mortgage, and there's heated competition among people wanting to buy, helping the seller get the price they want.
It was about 45 days from start to finish.
Lauren Stafford and her husband sold their previous home and bought a new one during the start of 2021.
We believe that God's timing does play into a lot of things.
The Staffords actually tried to buy the house they're in now a few years ago, but with mortgage rates at an all-time low, this time around made sense.
You know, the homes sell like that.
And Shay Center, president of Center Real Estate, says with rates so low, more people have the ability to buy homes.
So there's no inventory out there. It's not to say that there aren't homes still selling, but the supply is certainly limited.
So normally Abilene would see 400 to 500 homes on the market, but with those low rates and houses selling fast, Abilene is at a record low of only 150 homes on the market.
We find ourselves having to advise clients to write offers that we wouldn't in more normal times. You know, having to put in higher prices.
Center says that while this is a volatile market, rates are predicted to stay low, which means home inventory will also continue to stay low.
There have been people taking advantage of that, and that has been, I think, one of the key driving factors to the demand side of things.
Center also says that once people become more comfortable during COVID, he predicts more people will want to sell, which will help with the demands. In some places in Texas, like Dallas and Austin, buyers are having to pay as much as 25% above asking price. But here in Abilene, it's between 2 and 5% higher. And the spring semester is picking back up. Abilene ISD is now through that spring break. Mercedes Hernandez has more on the district's superintendent with an update on campus operations.
Superintendent Dr. David Young says half of all employees that are getting back to work have also gotten their vaccines.
The public health district in Taylor County, with their help, we have been able to provide vaccinations to approximately 50% of our employees.
Educators were added earlier this month to the state's COVID vaccine distribution plan, a move Dr. Young says he's thankful for.
I believe that all of our employees that want to be vaccinated have the opportunity to get vaccinated.
Dr. Young also shared his concerns on federal funding for schools during the pandemic.
These are dollars that are going to be for combating learning loss.
The superintendent is advocating the money should go directly to districts and not the Texas Education Agency.
I am concerned that that TEA is going to try to write a waiver to the feds to where they do not have to pass it through to school districts, and that they can decide how the majority of that money is spent.
Last month's freeze brought added hardship to the district as every campus needed repairs in some way, a cost the district is still figuring. The cost of labor, though, is something they already know.
We had about 1,000 extra hours with our maintenance and operations team. The cost of that is around $29,000.
And finally, springtime means prom season. Last year's graduating class sadly had no prom, but this year there will be one, though it will look a little different.
Each campus has chosen a venue that is either purely outside or has a lot of fresh air. We're going to have to do it a little bit differently, but at least we're getting to do it.
In Abilene, with coverage you can count on. Mercedes Hernandez, KTAB News.
Thank you, Mercedes. Luckily, they still get to have a prom. Masks will be required, though, unless the district's policy changes by then. Masks are also still required on AISD campuses, unless that policy changes as well. And when we come back here on Big Country Politics, a conversation with State Senator Dr. Dawn Buckingham on the latest from the Texas legislature. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
Big Country Politics on KTAB continues.
We're back with Dr. Dawn Buckingham, the Texas senator. Go ahead and tell us, how has this legislative session been different from your previous years?
Well, good morning. It's always great to be in the big country, if at least virtually. This session has been incredibly busy. On top of a pandemic and $1 billion budget deficit, then we have the snowpocalypse, which has really added a lot to this session. So we've been very busy on finance and redistricting and trying to drill down and figure out what happened with our grid and how do we fix that moving forward.
So, Ms. Senator, go ahead and tell us, you're right, it was a snowpocalypse. What is the Texas House and all the senators trying to do to help Texans?
Well, clearly we identified some weaknesses from the fact that we really, with our power generation, we've only really been developing our green energy, which green energy is great, but our natural gas and coal are really the base of our grid. So we probably need a little more development there for our peak times. Texas is growing, so our need for energy is increasing dramatically. And then we're trying to figure out, we had a lot of plants go down. So how do we winterize? How do we incentivize folks to do that? How do we make sure that our generation is up? And, I know we lost some folks in Abilene, which is a terrible tragedy, but we can't have people freezing in their homes. And then on the flip side, we can't have people getting these tremendous bills that may be happening. And so we're trying to really understand and then fix this problem moving forward.
So one of the problems that I think we saw from this snowpocalypse was broadband issues. Do you think that out of this snowstorm, we're seeing a higher need for broadband across Texas?
This last year has really just been reinforcement for how important broadband is. From a year ago, basically, when everything shut down and our kids tried to do virtual school, a lot of this Senate district I represent, from Bandera to Temple to Abilene, 20,000 square miles of the heart of Texas. A lot of our areas don't have broadband, and from the early warning system with the snowpocalypse, which would have been good to have some connectivity, and then our kids trying to do remote school. And then the other thing, and actually one of the things I'm working on this session, is telemedicine. We realized how important and how valuable telemedicine can be. And so that's one of the things we're working on, is just being sure that folks have access to telemedicine to bring that specialty care to our rural areas and access when people aren't as mobile. But broadband and connectivity are hugely important and will be even more important moving forward.
Definitely. So education is something that has been really important to you and is one of your big top policies. So you mentioned education, talking about broadband. How are you guys hoping to continue to fund education here in the state of Texas?
Well, we made big strides in public education funding last session. And even with $1 billion deficit this session, we are really prioritizing our commitment to our kids and their education. You know, I talk all the time about education is so incredibly important. It's our ability to compete in the future. It's our workforce. And my goal is that every child in Senate District 24, and really all of Texas, has the opportunity to find their God-given talent, pursue that talent, and enjoy the prosperity that comes with that. And that only comes with a good education, whether they want to go to college or be career bound. We want them to have all of those opportunities.
Definitely. And so I know that the last bill, HB 3, was about $11.5 million. Are you guys hoping to secure the same amount of money or more funds to really, continue your goals of education?
It'll always be more, because we have more and more kids enrolling in our public schools. And, I come from the school board, from Lake Travis ISD is what I was, the position I held before I ran for the Senate. So we will continue to prioritize that and do everything we can to keep those promises, keep our public education institutions funded, and then, to our teachers, keep those promises on those pay raises and be sure that their pension's secure.
Definitely. So you talk about more kids rolling in, more people each year. How does that affect redistricting, if any?
A lot. So we have roughly, we have a tremendous number of people moving to Texas every day. And the majority of those live in what I call the urban triangle, the Houston to Dallas to San Antonio. So folks like myself, we need to gain some population, and folks who live in the metropolitan areas need to lose some population. So it'll be a little exciting in redistricting. It looks like we're going to be getting the numbers on the census from the federal government end of September-ish. So everyone expect a bit of a delayed primary and an exciting process as we go through redistricting.
Definitely. Well, we're going to go ahead and be back in 2 minutes. And when we come back, we will continue to talk about Dr. Buckingham's priority in this legislative session.
Big Country Politics on KTAB continues.
By Dr. Dawn Buckingham. She is the Texas Senator. We're going to go ahead and continue talking about her legislative goals. Miss Buckingham, go ahead and tell us, what are your committee assignments for this session?
Well, we're very excited about our committee assignments. Of course, we're on redistricting, which is incredibly important. And yes, I plan on keeping Abilene. I love Abilene. We also serve on finance, which, of course, is the budget. And in this budget cycle with the $1 billion deficit, that's incredibly important. I chair the Committee on Nominations, and now that the Public Utility Commission commissioners have all resigned, that is going to be a very important committee, being sure that we vet our future commissioners and be sure we have the right skill set and the right temperament to run that very important entity. I serve on Health and Human Services and then Administration.
About funding and your funding committee. So why don't we just hit a hard topic? What are you guys thinking for police funding? That's been really huge in mainstream media. What are you guys trying to do for Texas police?
Our law enforcement are so incredibly important. Government at its base function is to protect those that can't protect themselves, which is part of protecting life, right? Those that can't defend themselves, the unborn. And then, of course, our law enforcement officers. And we have seen in cities like Austin, We've seen that they've defunded the police, and honestly, the crime rate is through the roof, increasing rapidly, and we are not going to stand for it. So I have a wonderful bill that creates penalties, makes folks that are entities that defund their police ineligible for state grants, because those that defund don't deserve additional funding. And we're going to do everything we can to help our law enforcement officers in back the blue.
Thank you for that. You did mention protecting life. I know that you have authored a bill that really wants to increase criminal penalties for people for selling fetal parts. You want to ban taxpayers paying for abortion. So why don't you go ahead and tell us more about how you are trying to protect Texans' lives?
You know, the Texas Senate, we passed out of committee this week several very important bills for life, and we will continue to fight on that front. And so we should be seeing those come through the Senate in the next week or two and get passed over to the House. But again, you know, fundamental principle of government is protecting those that can't protect themselves, and there is no one more defenseless than the unborn. And so we will always stand for life.
So you said protecting life. And so how do you think you're able to help protect Texans, specifically Abilenians' lives in this session? We got real hit hard by that snowstorm. So what are you hoping to do to help Abilenians?
You know, we love Abilene. There are a lot of really wonderful things about Abilene, but one of them is they're really wonderful institutions of higher education. And one of the things we're fighting for are the tuition equalization grants, which are very, very important to our private universities. And so we are always just looking out for the big country. You know, we joke, those of us that represent West Texas, once you have a square foot of West Texas, you have all of West Texas, because there's so few of us that represent it, and it's such a huge space. But we all band together. We look for every opportunity that we can help out our district, and just love Abilene and just so many good things there.
Definitely. Well, we appreciate you loving Abilene. So what would you say is your top priorities? You're on a lot of committees, you're doing a lot of great things. What would you say are the top most important things that Abilenians and Texans can expect to see?
Sure. We're working on so many things. We're leading on telemedicine, being sure that gets expanded and everybody can benefit from that. We're leading on broadband access. We're protecting life. We're ensuring that we have a great education for our kids. Working on a whole lot of things, and we're going to be very, very sure that Abilene is very well represented in the Texas Senate.
Definitely. And then I think the last thing that we can, talk about is any other, Abilenian issues. Ag is really important to us. Is there any sort of agricultural or even border issues for Texas that you would like to work on during this session?
Well, we will always fight to defend our border. We are actually seeing right now with the new administration a flood of immigrants coming across the border. And in this time of a pandemic, a lot of them are actually testing positive for COVID, which creates quite the public health hazard. Pretty close to Abilene, actually in Midland, they're moving a bunch of the kids into a little center, and it can be a real problem for our communities. So we are going to continue to fight to protect our border and for legal immigration, and to continue to fight against this public health crisis that the Biden administration's policies are creating.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dawn Buckingham. We are so thankful for your time. Thank you so much for being here on Big Country Politics.
My pleasure. Y'all have a great day.
Big Country Politics on KTAB continues.
Thanks for staying with us. The United Way of Abilene is working with the City Light Ministries to offer financial help for Taylor County residents dealing with unusually high utility bills after the February freeze. Higher than usual gas, water, or electric bills. Applicants must live in Taylor County and have either low or fixed incomes, available for both homeowners and renters. You will need documentation showing the higher costs and financial need. Assistance will be awarded and paid directly to the utility companies. If you want to apply, call 325-673-6686 between 9 and 3 on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. We end our newscast remembering a man who impacted lives across the Key City. The Abilene community feeling the loss of Mark Rogers, a man respected by virtually everyone that he met. Mark and his family were involved in a traffic incident on Saturday afternoon. His wife and children injured, but Mark died in the crash. KTAB's Jessica Rank has more on how Mark left his mark on so many.
You can't meet that guy. You can't have spent time with him and be the same person. You just, there's something about how he was wired that made you want to be a better version of yourself, to appreciate each day, to do something for somebody else.
Mark Rogers always had a heart for helping people, and it's why many say he was the perfect fit for Big Brothers Big Sisters Abilene.
At its fundamental core, it's about people raising their hand and investing their time and their life in someone else.
Lone Star BBBS CEO Pierce Bush first met Mark in 2016.
My life became different the moment I met Mark Rogers.
He gave him his start at Big Brothers Big Sisters Abilene. Within months, Mark had made a name for himself in the Key City.
The guy had a magnetic pull that was truly unique and that not many people are blessed to have.
He spent the last 5 years matching big country kids with mentors, giving each one of them someone to look up to.
Mark just naturally had it.
And of those who looked up to Mark, his own little brother, Jacob.
It was as if they were meant to be brothers from the get-go, right?
Mark inspired kids to be goofy, funny, and themselves. He also inspired others to create change in the world.
This is the first organization that I got involved in.
Travis Ruiz, now the organization's board chairman.
The mission of professionally supported mentoring, he proved that that was possible and made a difference in these children's lives.
At the end of the day, people say Mark was a leader, a confidant.
He just fundamentally believed in the God-given potential that exists in every single kid.
Most importantly, though, he was a friend.
It's not unique that I'm Mark's friend because he was everyone's friend.
We will be keeping Mark's family in our thoughts and prayers. His family is asking any donations that are made in his memory to be made to Big Brothers and Big Sisters. And that does it for this week's edition of Big Country Politics. For the latest political headlines, always go to bigcountryhomepage.com. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. Thanks for watching.